China has shocked the entire globe once again, and this time it's not about high-speed trains, massive infrastructure, or the world's tallest skyscrapers. This time the story is far bigger, far more disruptive, and it touches every single one of us because it involves energy, mobility, and the very way our future cities will breathe and function. The words are spreading faster than wildfire. Maxwell self-powered EV technology is no longer just a theory or a hidden lab experiment, it's becoming reality. And China is sprinting ahead of the United States in bringing it to life. For years, the conversation about electric vehicles has revolved around batteries, charging infrastructure, range anxiety, and the enormous global race to secure lithium, cobalt, and other rare earth elements. Companies like Tesla, Rivian, and legacy automakers in Detroit have fought to dominate the EV market, while China built a huge ecosystem of manufacturers like BYD, NIO, and XPeng. But suddenly, all of that could feel outdated if Maxwell's concept of a self-powered EV truly works on a commercial scale. Imagine an electric vehicle that doesn't need to stop at a charging station, that doesn't rely on huge battery packs mined from fragile supply chains, and that doesn't leave you waiting hours to recharge. Imagine a car that powers itself as it moves, harvesting and regenerating energy, pushing the boundaries of what physics once seemed to allow. That is the dream, and it is no longer just a dream. The shock comes not just from the technology itself, but from the fact that China is the one taking it forward faster than the United States, the very country that gave Maxwell's ideas credibility in the first place. For decades, the US has prided itself on being the world's innovation hub.
Silicon Valley, Détroit, NASA. These names symbolise the breakthrough after breakthrough.
But this time, China's aggressive investment, its rapid prototyping ability, and its willingness to bypass slow-moving bureaucracy seem to have given it the edge. And this is where the story gets truly fascinating. The world is watching two superpowers, each desperate to own the next chapter of mobility, and right now, China has pulled ahead in the race. To understand why this matters, let's go back a little. Maxwell's theories about self-sustaining energy systems and breakthroughs in renewable technology have been floating around for years. Skeptics said it was impossible, enthusiasts said it was inevitable. What's happening now is proof that in the age of global competition, ideas don't stay confined to one border. China spotted the potential, poured billions into research, mobilized its massive tech workforce, and cut the development timeline that would have taken decades in the West down to just a few years. The result? Prototypes of self-powered electric cars that are being tested in Chinese cities, drawing headlines and disbelief worldwide. Picture this, a sleek vehicle cruising down the highways of Shanghai, not stopping for fuel, not plugging into a charger, just gliding with an almost futuristic silence, all while generating its own power through innovative regenerative systems, advanced energy capture technologies, and material science breakthroughs. This isn't just another EV, it's a statement that the game has changed forever. If these cars scale, the concept of gas stations, charging networks, and even utility-driven electricity for cars could vanish in the coming decades. That's trillions of dollars of industries turned upside down. The United States is not blind to this. Engineers, scientists, and policymakers are scrambling to catch up. But the harsh truth is, innovation moves differently in America compared to China. In the US, corporations worry about shareholders, quarterly earnings, and regulatory approvals. In China, the government can decide overnight that this is the priority and pour endless resources into making it happen. That's why the lead matters. It's not just about who invents first, but who scales first. If China builds millions of self-powered EVs and exports them worldwide, America will be forced into a defensive position, just like it was with solar panels, 5G technology, and high-speed rail.
And the implication go deeper than just cars.
Think about geopolitics. The US dollar's dominance has always been tied to oil. Oil-rich regions became strategic chessboards for decades of politics and wars. But what happens when cars no longer need oil, when they no longer even need grid-charged electricity?
The balance of power shift.
Suddenly, the nation that controls the new technology, whether that's advanced energy harvesting or a breakthrough in physics-level innovation, controls the future. If China gets there first, it won't just be an automotive victory, it will be a reordering of global power. The buzz online is enormous. Social media clips from China show early demonstrations of these vehicles, and whether people believe it or not, one thing is certain, the excitement is real. People are asking, how does it work? How can a car truly power itself forever? Isn't that against the laws of thermodynamics? Scientists are debating, Skeptics are raising eyebrows, but enthusiasts are saying, wait until you see the data. The intrigue is what makes this story so magnetic. It's part science, part innovation, part mystery, and part geopolitical drama. For the average person, though, the appeal is simple. No more filling up with expensive fuel. No more waiting in line at a charger.
No more stress about running out of juice on a long road trip.
A self-powered car could feel like freedom itself, the ultimate convenience, the ultimate efficiency. Imagine owning a car where the only maintenance you worry about is tires and maybe some software updates. That's not just an upgrade, it's a revolution in lifestyle. Already, car enthusiasts are speculating. If China mass produces these cars, would the price be affordable? Would they launch at luxury levels to prove the tech, or go mass market to disrupt everything at once? Knowing China's track record, they might do both. Roll out a high-end futuristic model to show off, then flood the global market with an affordable version that outsells every EV brand combined. Think about what happened with smartphones. Apple introduced the iPhone, but it was Chinese companies like Xiaomi and Huawei that pushed the technology to billions of people. The same story could repeat here, and this time it won't just be phones, it will be the way the entire world moves. And that's why the US is nervous. Tesla may still be a leader in EV innovation, but Elon Musk himself has said many times that competition from China is fierce. If Tesla doesn't crack self-powered EVs first, its dominance could shrink. Legacy automakers like Ford, GM, and Chrysler are already struggling to keep pace with EV adoption. What happens if China redefines the industry overnight? The real question on everyone's mind is this breakthrough truly real, or is it hype? History is full of big promises that fizzled out. But here's the difference. China isn't just talking, it's building. Factories are being set up, partnerships are forming, and patents are being filed at a breakneck pace. And when China commits at this level, the chances of it being smoke and mirrors shrink dramatically. The world has learned to never underestimate the speed at which China can transform an idea into industrial reality. Think of how quickly China built the world's largest high-speed rail network, or how fast it became the global leader in solar power. If you apply that same formula to self-powered EVs, the outcome is predictable: scale, dominance, and disruption. The US might still lead in research papers, but China is leading in actual deployment, and deployment wins markets. For ordinary viewers around the world, this story is more than just technology. It's a story of pride, competition, and the excitement of living in a time when science fiction is turning into real life. The comment sections are filled with people saying, "If this is true, I want one." That emotional pull is what gives this breakthrough its viral energy. The idea of a car that never needs charging taps into something deep. It feels like a cheat code for life, like discovering a hidden level in a game. Who wouldn't want that? And yet, beneath the excitement, there's also fear. If cars no longer rely on oil, what happens to millions of jobs in the oil industry? What happens to countries whose entire economies depend on petroleum exports? What happens to utility companies that spent billions building charging infrastructure? Disruption always has winners and losers, and this could be one of the biggest disruptions of the 21st century.